The coach of that team is Coach Andy Kennedy. He's with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What's up, Coach? How are you?
Hey, guys. Man, I'm good. How are y'all?
Awesome. Congratulations on winning the conference tournament. I want to go back, though, because I'm fascinated by stuff like this, to the semifinal game. You go to the third overtime against Middle Tennessee, and if I'm not mistaken, you guys, was it a 1-3-1 trap? Was that kind of the defense you came out in?
Yeah, we played the 1-3-1, most every game. Sometimes, we have it scripted early, and sometimes it's late, and then sometimes it's just based on personnel, both ours and theirs. So, yeah, Trey Jemison, if you remember, fouled out on the next to last play of regulation. So we did not have him in any of the overtimes. And then K.J. Buffin fouls out in overtime. So we literally were playing with four guys, 6'4" or smaller, and then Ronji Gordon, who was not really playing at all rotationally until Josh LeBlanc goes down. And then Ronji's given us a great boost over these last 10 or 12 games. So we were really, really thin up front. We felt like in order for us to have a chance to finish the game in advance, that we had to apply pressure in a unique way, and the 1-3-1 was good for us down the stretch.
Coach, you guys are in the final window on Friday. You tip off at 8:20. I'm sure you've done both. I'm sure you've been there on Thursday. You've been there on Friday. Would you rather go on and play on Thursday, or do you kind of like waiting and being in that last window?
Yeah, and it's actually 9:20 Eastern time in Pittsburgh, so it'll be 9:20 local. I was hoping for two things, man. When we knew we were in the bracket after beating La Tech in the championship, we get back Sunday. We have a gathering with some of our loyal fans, and I was hoping that we would get a location. I was praying for Greenville simply because logistically it would give more Blazers an opportunity to be a part of it. But then I was also hoping that we would get Friday. Why? We just played 3 games in 3 days, and one of those went to triple overtime. We're depleted a little bit. We're a little banged up. And so the extra day of rest and prep, I think, are going to be very valuable for this team to have its chance to play its best.
And your experience as a coach will help get their legs back under them. We'll talk more about the matchup and something in a second, Andy. But for those that are on social media, like most of our listeners are, that's how they pick us up. Your relationship that is blooming with Barstool Sports and Big Cat, what does that do? What does that do for your program, possibly recruiting for Jelly Walker? Tell me just how that can help UAB down the road with such a national platform, sort of adopting your team.
Yeah, it's huge, Jim. You know that. I mean, the day and age that we live, I went through this before in 2013 at Ole Miss with a kid named Marshall Henderson. Now, Marshall Henderson, none of you three have seen him play in a long time, but you still know that name immediately.
Right.
Those are transcendent players. Well, I got one now in Jelly Walker. And social media and live streaming and this podcast and that platform, there are so many things that weren't available in 2013. The Marshall Mania thing took over where he was must-see TV. He was kind of the adopted lightning rod going into that tournament. We had won the SEC tournament. We beat Wisconsin in the first round, and we're a defensive stop away from getting to the Sweet 16. And the notoriety that Marshall Henderson brought himself and brought Ole Miss basketball was you can't put a price tag on it. Jelly Walker is doing the same thing. Number one, he's earning it with his play. He's the second player in the 44-year history of UAB basketball behind the great Oliver Robinson to be the conference player of the year and then the conference tournament MVP. He played middle in 2 games. He gave him 42 the first time and 40 the second time. He has been on an incredible tear, and he's must-see TV. So these Barstool guys get on board, man, and next thing you know, man, they're all about the jelly. And so it's been great, man. It's been great. All the pub that he gets. We have a tracking device through Influencer that shows our buddy Jim Cavell, who's really a pioneer in this business, and they can track how many times Jelly's name was mentioned or whatever after that triple overtime game at Middle Tennessee, and it was in the tens of millions. I said that right, in the tens of millions. How many interactions that he had on social media? So, these are the things that people have to understand when they talk about sports. It really is the front porch of your house, but it's more than just a business expense because you can't buy this publicity.
Coach Andy Kennedy with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Don't forget they got financing available. Home to Cherokee, America's #1 selling camper brand. 2 locations, I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 65 exit 334 in Decatur, and always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com. Kelvin Sampson, coach, is known for quality defensive teams. Ken Palm tells me they've got the 11th most efficient defense in the country. Do you see that on film?
Oh, do I see it on film? Holy cow!
Do you see it at night when you close your eyes?
I got so much respect for Kelvin Sampson. I've known him for 100 years, and in the most affectionate way I can say it, he's a real ball coach. He has done an incredible job. Really, it's ironic that what he has done with Houston Cougar basketball is really the blueprint by which I want to resurrect UAB basketball. You know, a great lineage that had kind of fallen on some hard times, and he has come back and energized that program like none other. He's done it just based off sheer will and really good players. And he's still got a strong will, and he's still got really good players. You know, Ken Palm came out in 2002, so this is the 20th season that we can use the metric. But in those 20 years, UAB's offensive efficiency has never been higher than where we're currently at 28th in the country. But to your point, Houston's defense is 11th. Their effective field goal percentage defense is 3rd. They're incredible off their offensive glass. I think they're 3rd in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. So they come at you reminiscent of my time when I was with Bob Huggins at Cincinnati. They play very, very similar. Their best offense is many times a missed shot. They're going to just maul you, try to take your ball, not allow you to do anything in your comfort zone. So it'll be a tremendous challenge, but one in which we're really looking forward to.
With Marcus Sasser, they were obviously a better team, but are they maybe more difficult to prepare for without Sasser because they're so balanced?
Well, Sasser was an incredible offensive player, and he could go make plays. Now they do it more by committee, and I say this affectionately, I really believe their best offense is a missed shot. If they can get it on the rim, they just go get it like you can't imagine. And so we're going to have to do a great job. We're really good off our offensive glass as well, not as good off our defensive glass. So we're really going to have to be locked in to blocking out and making sure we limit their second chance opportunities.
How do you work the official in a game like this? I mean, before the tip, do you say, hey, they're going to foul us every trip down the floor, don't suck on your whistle? I mean, how do you start working the official? Because like you said, they will maul you if the officials let them.
Well, this is the NCAA tournament, so I won't even know who the officials are until maybe 2 hours before the game.
Well, Andy, I wasn't saying you were going to take them to dinner the night before.
That's a good idea.
But my point is, they're all different personalities, and there's certain guys that you can work hard. There's certain guys you better bite your tongue and whisper sweet nothings in their ear, or they're not going to give you any calls. So, yeah. I mean, so it really bases on who the crew is. This is the NCAA tournament, and, they're like the teams. They're judged game in and game out on whether or not they advance. So typically they're going to be pretty buttoned up for the NCAA tournament.
Do you have a funny story, something funny an official has said to you that legit made you laugh during a game, like when you were getting on to him?
No, I mean, that's not for the airways. Again, I'm holding a lot of these stories for my HBO special one day.
I can't wait for that special.
Well, it's probably a good time to point out to you that we are uncensored here. We drop the cuss words anytime.
I'm not. I'm still an educator.
Okay.
Don't you guys forget that. I'm an educator of men.
Hey, I do want to ask this, though, because I was reading Matt Norlander of CBS Sports. He's documenting some teams that are having difficulty getting their NCAA charter because of pilots. Are you guys okay to get to Pittsburgh?
We've had the worst travel year of my 25 years in this business, and a lot of it is just based on pilots and charters and COVID and everything. We have still not gotten our departure time as of yet, so we may be carpooling. You guys available?
Yeah, I'll drive you. I'd love to drive you up there, Andy.
Not me, man. I'm going to Vegas, so I'll be betting.
Whoa.
I'll be betting hard from Vegas.
You better hope he doesn't bet on you guys.
I'll fade you. I'll fade you.
Another way the cooler.
Yeah. I'll fade you to give you a fighting chance.
No, it was Colorado State was who Norlander was writing about. I think they've got a Thursday game, and they did not know their travel plans as of yesterday, so that's unfortunate. I hate to hear that, Coach.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. But you know what? We're honestly used to it. We've had charter crews go down with COVID, and we've had to drive 5, 6, 7 hours. I never really say this thing because I'm a non-excuse guy. Nobody wants to hear it, man. Nobody wants to hear excuses. But we've had a few of our road losses that have just been a travel debacle.
We go back to the preseason, and you guys dropped that amazing video about a revival, and we played it here on the air. It's just fantastic.
Well, that aged pretty well, didn't it?
It did. That's what I was going to
well.
say. Was there ever any hesitation from you that we're going to drop this revival? What if we lay an egg? But you delivered. It ended up being a revival. Here you are. You're back in the dance, and you're conference champions, and you're cutting down a net, and they got great pictures of you on top of the ladder. It's been a revival. You've lived up to every bit of the hype.
I believed it, Jim. You know, I honest to goodness, it was my idea. We've got great people that have put that together in an incredible way. I mean, it was something that you see in Hollywood, and we've got great people that did that. But every single year that I've been a head coach, I have thought of a word or a mantra that has kind of come from my spirit over, you know, after a few weeks around the group. And I kind of came up with a revival because that is the goal. That was the intention. And here, man, we go heavy or go home. I'm not a rookie head coach anymore. I've turned 54 on Selection Sunday. Pretty good birthday present. And you know, I'm going full steam ahead. This has been the vision. I'm honestly disappointed we weren't able to get it done in year one, but because of COVID, we had some roster issues that I wasn't even aware of until it was too late. We adjusted. We're moving this program forward in a big way.
Well, good luck, Coach. We're all pulling for you. Can't wait to see the game Friday night. All the best on the trip to Pittsburgh.
Again, you guys keep your cell phones on. We may need some Uber money.
You let me know. I'll come drive you. I'd look forward to it. Thank you, Coach. Take care.
Hey, thanks. Hey, I appreciate you guys.
All right, we thank you, Coach. That is Andy Kennedy, the head coach of UAB on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.